Hey everyone, it is Josh with our North Park Youth Annual Update. Wow, what a year 2020 was. I know you'll probably hear that from a lot of the pastors here on staff, but it was challenging. There were a lot of challenges and it required a lot of flexibility and adjustment, but we made it through. And you know what? Looking back, we grew a lot and we learned a lot about our ministry. And that's what I want to tell you a little bit about here in this video. So again, the beginning of the year was going great last year. We were trying some new things, getting more into video updates and experimenting with some podcast ideas and stuff like that. And then of course, that all came to a screaming halt, or screeching halt, screaming halt, I'm not sure, but in March. And then we had to get flexible. We immediately went online with some new ideas and we hit the ground running with some stuff on our Instagram. We were doing daily devotionals and once a week we were having worship nights on our Instagram, and we had a lot of students that were engaging and really enjoying that. It was a great outlet for them in that beginning part of the pandemic. Of course, as the year went on and as students were doing school online, of course, engagement dropped a little bit. I think there was this idea of Zoom fatigue, which I'm sure you've heard of, but there was just online fatigue happening for a lot of reasons. And we learned, again, a lot in that season. We had a lot of students who kind of stepped away in terms, again, they didn't want to do things online. And so we lost contact with some students. But reflecting on that this fall and into the winter, we realized that we as a youth ministry need to be better at connecting with students and making sure that our leaders are equipped to reach out to students even with no weekly connection. So if that's a text message or a phone call or an email, that's what we've been learning. And that's what we're beginning into 2021 to train our leaders and to work together on how we can build deeper connections with our students. We know that they need deep and meaningful connection, and whether that's with, they're finding that in their other circles of influence, we're realizing that as the church and as their small group, the people who care for them so deeply, we need to be that meaningful connection for them. And so again, we're working as a team to make sure our small groups are robust and there's meeting outside of our normal Wednesday night program, if that's an online games night or that's just a quick porch drop off of a coffee. We're really pushing that as a team, and our leaders are embracing that and understanding the importance of their role today. Of course, we did Youth Alpha during the summer online, and that went really well. The students that connected in, I think, learned a lot and had that connection that they maintained throughout the summer. It was the first time that we ran any sort of regular weekly summer programming in the time that I've been at North Park. And I'd say it went really well because it was something for students to do outside of their normal everyday life. We also kicked off the fall by doing something really unique. We were having half our group, so our junior highs meeting in one location and our high school students meeting in another location between North Park Fanshawe and North Park Huron. At Fanshawe, we had kind of a normal youth night where we had worship from the stage and teaching in small groups, and we even started getting into a little bit of gym time. And then at Huron, we focused on small groups and small group connection. Again, thinking about that missing piece from the spring, we really wanted to implement that and strengthen that at our North Park Huron campus. And it was going really, really well until, of course, at the end of the year when we realized that we needed to, maintain the stay-at-home orders, and so we're now back online. We've learned so much about the digital age of youth ministry, and we've been doing all sorts of fun things to try and experiment with how can we keep kids engaged and keep students having fun and building community with one another even when we're online. And we realized that we need to maintain that spirit going forward even when we're back on site. Our Instagram is a great example of how we think that we can really keep kids engaged throughout the entire week, not just a weeknight program. And again, our small group leaders are experimenting with ways that they can continue to stay connected with one another throughout the week. So all in all, it was a tough year. Our students went through a lot. Our leaders went through a lot. I'm sure many of you went through a lot, but we learned, and I think that's really important going into 2021. We know as a youth ministry the direction that we need to be taking, and we know that goes beyond just the events. That means the relationships and how our small group leaders can really dig deep and step into their role, not just as a volunteer, but as a mentor to a lot of our students. We'll be doing some recruiting this year, bringing in more people so that we can focus on more students. And so we're excited to bring more people onto this team and to really dig deep into what God's calling us to do. So thanks again for supporting our ministry this year. Thank you for your prayers and your encouraging notes. We appreciate them so much, because in a year where it's hard to hear all the encouragement, when we did hear encouragement, it meant the world. So thank you so much.